Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mosk Pod. This will be our second to last episode, but also importantly, our 31st overall. So glad you could join us today. I know it's a little bit earlier than our normal time, but that's perfectly fine because we're going to fit in everything. I actually have to be somewhere after this, which is why I'm really dressed up behind this shirt. Um, Totally good. All business related. Today, just wanted to update you on some things. Again, I am so sorry that Leonora is not here today. It's not because of last week with the sickness. It's just busy, times and things have to be kind of in crunch time, fit in last second. So that's what's going on with her. I will, talk to her and have her or maybe like set up the best chance for her to come on next week as it is our final emotional episode. Today is just going to be more news. I'm going to answer pretty much all the questions I asked my guests throughout. Again, so grateful that we were able to have every guest that we did on. It's been a great series this year. I know I've had a couple here and there, but this year's really ramped up with guests, and it's sad that it's coming to an end, but grateful for the opportunity. Grateful for all the guests who have come in and been pros at it. Just stepped in, answered questions. And I think the setup has been pretty good overall. We've had some good showing over the last few weeks with the different guests. I know it's mainly freshmen, which honestly I think it's a good thing that we get to hear from new Iona students as they come in, and they set up their future. Here on the Mospod, we hear about their future. Maybe it starts here. Who knows? I know that building confidence off of this is huge, and a big, boost off that, and builds on confidence overall. Another 4 years, and you don't know where you'll be, but it sets you up for success, I would say. Um, yes, again, very grateful for our guests and the years here at Iona. Again, emotional second to last episode, but we're gonna handle it as our normal. I am gonna make this maybe a little tad shorter, but we're gonna get to everything that we normally talk about, mainly sports today, and then I'll stick with the other questions I asked my guest. I'll answer them myself because I know you want to hear from me too, as the host and here every week. That can be. So I will get to that at the end, but first we will start with sports today. Um, I told you again why I'm dressed up. It's a private event after. Um, so yeah, we are going to start with baseball. We are in, let's say, the third, entering the fourth week now. It's flying by, but baseball is a long season, 182 games. They rarely have a day off. Every now and then they do, but they mainly play one game every day. Mets have actually won their last five series and have a three game winning record, so 3 games over 500. After starting at 0-5, that's a miracle to me. Never thought it would be possible. I know it's so early on, but the Mets are not metting yet. Um, you expect it to come, obviously, but they're not yet. They're not metting yet. You got the. I would say the offense has really surprised me, right? So the bullpen I thought was going to be a strong suit. Definitely is, but the bats are coming through in clutch moments, with the exception of yesterday's game. You got 10-0 Dodgers. That's just a throwaway game. The way they've been playing is fine. I knew Hauser, who's on the mound for the Mets, would not stand a chance versus the Dodgers ace in Glass now. He is he has been when he's healthy. Again, note that because uh, players need to be healthy to be stars and dominant players. When he is healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, starting pitchers. So last night he went 8 innings, and then they used their other guy to go the last inning in the ninth. Uh, Hauser was not on his game, and the bullpen the Mets used some of their worst bullpen pitchers, which totally fine with, right? 10-0, and want to get that out of the way. Totally cool with that. They used Tonkin, they used Hartwig, I think is his name, and you know the real talented bullpen guys save for a different day, save for a closer game, more competitive, one where you have more success scoring runs and men on base, and then you can sort of mix it up from there. I think Mendoza, with the team he's had, has been doing pretty good with that. And now he obviously has, or no, I don't know if you heard, but Alvarez, the young talented catcher, is now out for, I would say, most of the season. It's another 6 to 8 weeks, 7 to 9 weeks, something like that. He'll be out for an extended period of time, which is tough because now you have your third backup catcher in Nito, and he does absolutely nothing for the team except for some defense, but behind the plate. But it's not enough to make a difference. Narvaez is the veteran who's been in the league a little longer. He is not a difference maker either, but definitely feel more comfortable with him than Nito, as he was backing up Alvarez when he was DH. Narvaez was catcher, or when Alvarez was totally out of the lineup, Narvaez was catching that day. They got a few wins under him, but mainly Alvarez is the key to success and the catching job, at least. The power of the bat is not going to be there with Narvaez and Nito. Nito always batting very, very low, and Narvaez just, it, I wouldn't say solid, but he can make contact. It's not going to be anything powerful or get on base worthy all the time. Once in a while, he'll have a good game, but the defense mixed with offense, it's going to be off and on a little bit. So very inconsistent with that. You also got Brooks Raley in the bullpen. Usually pitches the seventh or eighth. Well, seventh now with Avino and Diaz as your main two guys. But again, Mendoza and I've seen the way it's gone. They don't want to use all of them in one day, so you can save them for the next day and going forward. But Brooks Riley is key. He'll be out. He's on the 15 day, so he'll be back right after that. Probably 2 weeks now, as it was announced yesterday. So another 2 weeks, we'll see him back. Let's see how the Mets can do without him. They still got Vino Diaz, the savior in bullpen wise for the Mets, that the guy they need in Reed Garrett right now, totally dominating the game. That ninth inning versus the Dodgers the other day, when the Dodgers had men on base like the whole game and they were able to hold them to 4 runs, he struck out the side in the ninth, which is not easy, but the way he's doing it makes it look easy. And he's at like 20 strikeouts now in just a few innings he's pitched. But it's crazy. He's pitched like 10, 11, I would say now. It's crazy what he's doing. Definitely the savior the Mets need right now. Hopefully he can stay this way, stay healthy. Dodgers are pretty competitive, so the way he presented himself versus them was key, and they can use him going forward. I wouldn't say as closer like he did versus the Dodgers, because obviously Diaz is healthy this year, looks amazing out there. By the way, getting his strikeouts, his nasty sort of curveballs, slider. He's got a ton of pitches in the back, and he can dominate the game. as a closer. He's the best closer in baseball still, I would say. Not the most closing jobs this year, as the Mets have either blown out a team or lost badly, but there's been a few tight ones where you have to use him. I would say actually Jorge Lopez, key addition to this bullpen, has been really good as well. Sort of coming in, handling his business like a pro. He usually pitches the eighth, sometimes the ninth if Diaz and others pitch the day before, right? So it's good to have those good arms be consistent throughout the year and pitch them on the right days. With the bats, Nimmo, Alonso, McNeil, they've been really inconsistent, but it's the back end of the rotation of the batters. Bader, Taylor, Wendell has come on too. Stewart has been excellent in clutch moments too, at least pinch hitting. All these guys, pinch hitters, have been really good. Then you got Marte having a great season. And there's some other guys throughout the lineup who come through. I would say when J.E. Martinez comes back, I don't know who they're gonna let down. It's gonna be hard, honestly, because these guys are coming through. Zach Short, I think, is one option. He hasn't impressed me one bit, so maybe he's the guy who just goes down. Maybe sent to another team further down the road. When the offense gets Martinez back, it's going to be as complete as ever. One of the best DHs in baseball, and the Mets are going to have him, which they haven't had a DH like that in years. So pretty important there. Uh, yeah. Lindor, yeah. When the crowd started chanting for Lindor when he came up, he's been pretty good of late. Definitely more consistent. Definitely was happy to see the fans do that, and he's been much better. Definitely getting his RBIs and on base at least. Not striking out as much. All good signs. All you want to see. With the Yankees, they're still tops in the MLB. The rotation's pretty good. They got a little bump in the back end. Cole's not really too consistent, and he's not bad yet. But you got Rodon, you got Stroman handling it. Cortez actually had a good outing finally. His last time out, he could be a good fourth starter. Uh, to round that rotation once Cole gets going. And I think you got Clark Schmidt also starting back there. That's your worst pitcher, but it's still solid. He can get some solid innings done. Maybe a few runs given up, but maintain the game to where you can score some runs and go for the win. The bullpen's all right. Uh, you do got Clay Holmes and all. They can get the job done every now and then. Uh, they actually got the series versus the Rays. They only got shut out on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, because I actually passed Yankee Stadium and it was very crowded going in. Can't imagine seeing a not blowout, 2-0 win for the Rays. Can't imagine seeing a shutout. That the Yankees didn't score any runs, but they did win the series and beat the Rays. Good for them. It's in their division. Just good stuff. They've been really good. Soto's been their savior. Definitely using him as an advantage for the team. Coming through all season long so far, and it's looking like a great fit. Judge needs to get it going, but for now, Soto's handling it really well. Stanton's been hitting his home runs. Really, nothing else from him, as we expected. Volpe's been very good. Cabrera slowed down a little. He wouldn't maintain that hot start. You also got Gleyber Torres, as consistent or inconsistent. You can go either way with him. You always need him out there though. He'll provide success for the team. Um, I like where they are, honestly, in first place and only like 4 or 5 losses now. They are in great shape in first place, and watch out because once Judge hits one out, you'll start seeing them more consistently because That's how he goes. Once he starts, he keeps on going and keeps on going. You can't maintain him once he gets going. So watch out for that. Definitely not. I'm not a Yankee fan, but seeing Judge hit balls, it's so smooth, so incredible how he does it. Um, in the MLB, Guardians and Braves and the Yankees at the top. Uh, Pretty much as expected. Not so much the Guardians. They are off to only a 4-loss start. Uh, they they are uh not an incredible team. They're just finding ways to win. Their starting pitching is pretty good as usual. I would say. I'm not allowing too many runs. It's really it really hurt them that Bieber is out for the whole season because he's Cy Young worthy. And Bibby's been pretty good. Others have stepped in too. Class A as the closer is always your best bet. Naylor is probably their best hitter right now. Ramirez will get going and will be their best hitter, but for now it's Naylor. Uh, you got some other guys stepping in too. Uh, White Sox and the Marlins. Luckily, the Marlins are in the NL East, so Mets get a break there. But the Phillies and Braves at the top have been winning, and so have the Mets. So Mets haven't gained much ground. But if you keep winning, you might find a hole or a time to slip through in the rankings or the Atlantic, division NL East. Um, I don't think they're going to get there though. Just keep winning and see what you can do as a team. I would say for the Mets and the Yankees, just keep winning yourself. Play the baseball you've been playing. Even in clutch moments, they've been coming from behind in the eighth and the ninth. The other day in the ninth, where they scored like 3 runs to take the lead in extras. That was that was a that was a builder right there. That got it going a little bit. So yeah, keep winning and Yankees will be perfectly fine. Uh, NBA, we have the Knicks. We don't have the Nets. The Nets had a awful season. I expected much better. At the start, it was okay. First 10 games, we were good. And then it all went downhill from there and never was able to consistently get wins, consistently build as a team, get clutch buckets. Never happened. Claxton and Thomas were the keys to the season. I would say build around them, but they might get rid of Claxton for, good assets or good center. Claxton's not a true center for the Nets, or for the Nets he is, but he's got to be more. I don't know. He's like not built for a center. He can play D and all. I think the Nets this off season need to get a main like traditional center and build around that with Thomas and the rookie Clowney really showed a lot. I think Whitehead is gonna make a full recovery. We'll see how he plays as a rookie. And then you got Jalen Wilson, who I thought really proved himself in the G League, and then a couple times he got a good run at a game. I actually saw him in person. He made a three. Pretty good. Switched it, so even better. Nice sounding and all. But great season. Great rookie season for him. I think he can definitely build off that. Strong player all around. Um, yeah. So then for the Knicks, great, great, great way to get started with their first win in the playoffs as the number 2 seed. They play the Sixers in this series with Embiid sort of out there, but inconsistently, not there because he's injured while playing, sort of. So it's not a good recipe, but Sixers absolutely need him out there. He's better than any other player, even when he's playing injured. Maxi hopefully can come through. You got healed in the free agency trade deadline, and you hope he can come through as that was a big acquisition. You got others here and there. I think Oubre has had a pretty good season, and then you got Paul Reed as a backup center. Mo Bamba has been key for them. I just think they need to put a complete performance together, and they might have a chance to win. I would say it goes to 7 game series though, like I've heard from the rest of the people. That's just me thinking that Knicks are not going to be as consistent down the stretch. But they can definitely win in 7, and being up 1-0 definitely helps. But it was a close 1 game win right there. So we'll see how the rest of the series goes there. We also had a good performance. Pelicans Thunder 1-8 seed. Thunder are very young. They pulled out the win, but CJ McCollum almost made it at the buzzer. A great look from him. And Thunder have won a lead at home. I think building off not so consistent performance there. No one played well that game, honestly. 8 seed, you expect a little downfall, but 1 seed, you expect them to dominate. But they are the youngest 1 seed ever. So, first playoffs for most of them. Definitely 3/4 of the team there. You only got a few veterans like Gordon Hayward. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is young, but he's a veteran. Uh, and Muscala, I think, is on team. But really, other than that, it's everyone's first playoff appearance. So first shot of that. Really good to get 1 win off their back, and I think they're going to dominate the series from here. I don't think New Orleans can play much better, and they don't have Zion, so that is going to be the key difference here. I think Thunder are going to take this at the most 5 games, and I think they can sweep. We'll see how they play on the road too, because New Orleans is okay atmosphere, but it's tough on the road, always in the playoffs, to get some wins. Home advantage is key for them, but I don't think it's going 7 at all. You also got the so the plans went pretty much as expected. The Heat they moved on, and they had to play the number 1 seed Celtics, the other number 1 seed. And Celtics dominated as expected. No Butler and no Rozier. Definitely key players for Miami. Butler being the top and Rozier being the key acquisition, probably top 3 player on the team. Really good stuff in Charlotte from him, so carrying it to Miami is key. They traded him for Larry, and Larry ended up going to the 76ers. He'll be key in that series too. But yeah, Miami doesn't have a complete team. Boston does, and they've been playing like the best team, like not ever, but like best team this whole season, and most dominant we've seen in a while, with Porzingis shooting threes like he's not a center, but he is. Tatum, Brown, White. You got Pritchard and Hauser shooting threes and scoring like crazy. This team's as complete as it gets, and they're gonna dominate. They're gonna sweep the series. I think that's pretty obvious. If Butler comes back, I think it will be a closer game, but Celtics will still sweep. They just need to play. Celtics need to play a full game because they did let up in the fourth quarter, but still won by 20, which is crazy. But I think they'll know after Horford actually yelled at the team to sort of ramp it up a little bit the last few minutes because they needed to. I think that was key, and Celtics will be fine from here on. Definitely the favorites for the championship. I want to see a Celtics Nuggets finals this year. I do like both teams. They're not my favorite teams, but I have respect for both of them after great seasons, and I think they can. I think they deserve a finals, but they only deserve a finals if they win all the series leading up to it. But I see the Celtics as they've dominated all season. I see them winning the whole thing. But we'll see how that goes. Some other series, Cavs Magic, really don't care about that series. Both teams are not playing too well. Cavs definitely have the advantage at home though, and up 1-0. Bucks versus Pacers, interesting series. Bucks won the first one. It's because of Lillard's 30-point first half, unstoppable, and actually 35 points. And the Pacers are very young, and first playoff appearance for three of them, including Tyrese Halliburton. And I I don't know. Pacers can come back in this series easily, but down 1-0, and Lillard and others shooting pretty well. I think if the Bucks can stay consistent, they can definitely win the series in like 6 games. I don't think this is going to a 7, but for the 3-6 seed, that can always go to 7. Some surprises there, but I think the Bucks can take this series down in 6 at the most. Um, yeah, Clippers Mavericks. I'm impressed with the Clippers already. I didn't expect them to come out like that. I expected the Mavs to be the ones coming out. Luka Doncic trying to prove a point with Kyrie Irving and others. Washington in the free agency, they got a good center in Gafford, but no competition for Zubac, Harden, and Westbrook and George. They all got it going, and then you got their backup sort of performers. Can shoot a three, make it every now and then. Clippers, definitely impressive. Blowout game one win. I think same thing will go game two, but I think Dallas can gain back in game three. So if every team wins at home, that means I have the Clippers winning at home in a 7-game series. Any other matchups we got? Yes, we got Timberwolves Suns. I think Timberwolves are going to dominate this series. Yes, KD and Beal and Booker play for the Suns, but you saw in game one they're just not consistent enough, and we've seen that all season long. Timberwolves really they are young, sort of mid-tier age team. Number 1 seed, or sorry, number 2 seed. No, number 3 seed. Number 3 seed. They are playing good, and they won by 25 their first game. I think same thing is going to go down in game 2. And I think game 3 will be a little closer, but I think the Timberwolves have a chance. Maybe 6-game series. I absolutely don't think it's going to be a sweep, but I think it could end in 6. As long as the Timberwolves take one on the road, they'll be fine. Um, yeah, and then with NHL, first off, NBA, they're going to go through his first series as I predicted, and we'll be back next week. Our final episode, I know. I will try to update you as best as I can at where everything is, as we should be headed to the second round by then. Maybe some matchups will still be going, but we'll have more predictions then. NHL, Rangers clinched the top spot and won game 1 yesterday versus the Capitals. Good win there, 4-1. You got UConn players that they won the whole thing in March Madness. They all their good players are actually entering the NBA draft, so we can see if, or they might have one player like Alex Karaban or something might be staying. I heard rumors about that. Let's see what Dan Hurley can do if he can pull off the magic again. That is a dominant UConn team. His coaching style obviously is working, so with any player he gets, they can really get it going. WNBA, they got some talent. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. You got some UConn players as a local, and from there, it's a good future. You got the Curry of the WNBA now in Caitlin Clark, and she will get going as she has had more pressure in college than I think she's going to have in the WNBA. So she's going to feel confident heading into the WNBA. I don't know how she feels being on the Indiana Fever, but if she can carry them, score like she's been in college, I think they'll be fine. Because WNBA is a little slower of a game, but it's just like the NBA. Same rules, everything applies. So we'll see how that goes. I root for the Connecticut Sun every year. They've been playing some good basketball of late. Last couple of years, they lost to the Liberty in the first round, but put up a fight. Liberty are always going to be good now with Stewart, Ionescu, Jonquel Jones. You also got some other players, some locals. Vandersloot is on the team. Good point guard for WNBA. So yeah. With that, then next week will be our final episode. Again, I'm cutting this episode early since I do have to be somewhere after this, but it's been an amazing journey. Second to last episode. Just note that. I know it's in the title of this episode, but again, uh, next week will be our final episode. I hope to have Leonora on. We will be hopefully back here at 4. But definitely try to tune into that. It will be emotional for me. Who knows? Maybe I'll be crying for the first time ever. We'll see. Doesn't usually happen, but it might happen next week. Uh, if you tune in, you'll see for yourself. It's been an amazing ride. Thank you again for tuning in this Monday episode. Monday the 22nd. We'll be back on the 29th next week for our final episode. And I hope you all have a great week. Thank you.